Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your hosts, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Welcome in another edition of the Auburn Blitz here. Caleb Brooks, David Jones with you for the next hour. We're going to be talking all things Auburn University athletics and also things around the SEC and all around sports. You know, it's Friday. We're getting ready for a big weekend, and there's a lot to talk about when you've got a big sports weekend like this coming up. We talked about the USFL a little bit yesterday. They'll be playing this weekend. Our undefeated Birmingham Stallions, ours, you know, right here in the state. And everybody caring.
On the portal yesterday.
Yeah.
High school sports. It's Friday. We can talk about whatever.
Hey, we can talk about anything here, and we will definitely be talking about two big series coming up for the Auburn Tigers this weekend. Is baseball taking on Arkansas, ranked number 3 in the country, right there in the top of the SEC West. So big weekend from a standing standpoint when it comes to SEC tournament and things like that. And then for softball, we talked about yesterday, this weekend's going to really have a lot of big implications on if this softball team is going to be traveling and being a 2 seed in a regional, or if they could be in Auburn maybe as a 14 seed, a 15 seed hosting a regional here in 2 weeks.
Yep. A lot going on. I heard some interesting comment this morning on the way in on the D1 baseball guy was on Full Ride, Sirius XM, and they were talking about, and this relates to baseball, Caleb. When's the last time Vanderbilt didn't host a regional?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
And they're 10-11 right now.
Yeah.
And he was saying, look, if they don't come on, now they still have one of the lowest ERAs in the country.
Yeah, they just don't. They
crazy.
don't swing it great at all.
But the sleeper team. Let's talk about just. You and I talked about yesterday, maybe looking ahead. Here's my don't sleep on team for SEC baseball right now, and it's Texas A&M. They won a series from Vanderbilt. They won their Arkansas series a couple of weekends ago. And, of course, they're sitting there fourth, but tied for second, really, if it's a three-way tie for second in the league with the league record. But how about last night? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Our team we love to hate, the Tennessee
It's always a
Vols.
good day when you can come and show up the next day and talk about Tennessee baseball getting beat in an SEC game. You know?
And you mentioned this yesterday. You weren't questioning Tennessee, but you were just speculating what would happen to them down the road. Look, they just lost to Tennessee Tech in a midweek.
Away from home.
They just got beat last night by the bottom team in the East. I mean, still a winning record, but Kentucky's 7-14 in the league, 8-14 now. And it went 12 innings, and I was semi-paying attention to it. And then when it got to the 10th inning, I tuned in and watched the rest of it. I said, I'm going to watch this one. Here's the funny thing, too, Caleb. Last night, Ben Joyce just was not effective.
Yeah.
You know, against Auburn, I don't think an MLB team could have hit him Sunday.
Yeah.
Last night, he walked a guy. He was wild. After about 4 batters, they pulled him. Interesting. So we're going to watch Tennessee closely. I know everybody's don't panic. They're 41-5, which is. But you remember when Auburn was on the 19-game winning streak in basketball? That's all everybody was talking about. Billis, all the national guys, and then we went on that slide. All of a sudden, they weren't talking about us like that, like they were before. That could happen to Tennessee.
Yeah, hopefully it does. That's what we want to have happen here on the Auburn Blitz for sure.
Well,
we would like to see them split or slip here for the next little bit.
Our people and our team last, and you know, some Tennessee fans are going to say, look, you don't cheer when an opponent's pitcher gets hurt.
Yeah.
Twice.
And the thing is, they get upset when people do the same things back to them, like as a fan base, as a team, as all of it. So you can't sit here and act one way and then be upset when other people are doing the same thing back.
Dish it out, take it.
Yeah, you got to take it. And that's why, like, you know, Trevor Bauer's going through a lot of crap in the MLB right now with everything, but that is one thing that I respected about his opinion on everything was, hey, go ahead, bat flip, do all this stuff. But when I get you to half swing, I'm going to do a sword gesture. I'm gonna, I'm going to do it too. And then that's just the way it is. And when I give up a bomb, I expect you to have fun and to celebrate it. And that, but that's the way you have to be. And I respect that he at least has that outlook on it. Tennessee doesn't have that outlook as a team. If you do the same type of stuff back to them, they get butt hurt. They start trying to come at you and fight you and try to act like they're these big bullies. And I think in the long run that, it ends up evening out for everybody. And I think that they'll get theirs.
Well, you made this point yesterday, Sunday, after the game. Look, you've won the series. Don't look over at Auburn's dugout and start chomping.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Celebrate with your team.
Celebrate with your team.
You're the number one team in the country. You're expected to win.
Act like it.
You're expected to win the game. I mean, you're sitting here acting like that you are the underdogs coming in and you're expected to win that series.
Yeah.
I mean, we were going in saying, hey, Auburn just needs to get one. I mean, that's a win if they go get one, and that's a chance to get two. So.
Yep. Well, they act like their coach.
Yeah.
And like I told you this off the air yesterday, but I'm going to say it on the air today. Somebody's going to whip his rear end.
Yeah. No.
Before it's over with.
Yeah. He's lucky Tim Hudson didn't get a hold of him. I mean, we've been down that road, but he's lucky Tim Hudson didn't get a hold of him.
that.
But big weekend for the Auburn Tigers. We'll be talking about their series with Arkansas coming up. We're going to have Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers on later on as well. We'll talk to him about both these series this weekend. We mentioned softball. They're going to be traveling up to Tennessee. I'm sure that they'll probably have a little bit better reception up there at Tennessee this weekend than the baseball team was having. I think Tennessee softball fans seem to be a little bit better than the baseball fans for the most part. But, it's fun. I mean, we were sitting here talking about the standings yesterday. When you look at it, the SEC is just so deep. I mean, outside of South Carolina and Texas A&M, everybody else has 9 wins or more in the SEC. And, I mean, we haven't seen a year like that where 11 teams are all kind of hovering around 500. And, Arkansas ended up winning the SEC regular season, but they also had one of the easier schedules when you look at it. They got to play Texas A&M, South Carolina, Missouri, Mississippi State, and some of these teams towards the bottom. So it'll kind of be interesting to see once everybody ends up in Gainesville down there if Arkansas can go and win it in the tournament. But Arkansas looks pretty good. They can swing the bats. They hit it really, really well. They gave Auburn a lot of trouble. I mean, they beat Auburn, 17-4 on that Sunday game up there in Fayetteville, and it just shows how explosive their offense can be because Auburn's got a really good pitching staff that they were able to do that against.
Well, that's true. I mean, they're Arkansas, and they have built that, and it is sustainable for them. They're 34-10. We're 31-14, but it's a big. We're home. The problem, and I told you before we went off the air, we were wondering. I saw a video last night on Auburn Baseball's Facebook page. We're starting Mason Barnett, who has been coming out of the bullpen, or starting some midweek games. Mm-hmm. So Friday's going to be let's piece it together here. Hopefully a guy can get 4, 5, and piece that together. We still don't know anything about Burkhalter. I'm praying that he's healthy and can pitch this weekend.
The thing that you worry about the most, in my opinion, with, now having to start Barnett tonight, you don't know where Burkhalter's at. That's 2 guys that you really counting on out of your bullpen now that aren't going to be coming out of the bullpen. And so while, if you can get tonight, you really want to get tonight if you're Auburn, because I think as the weekend goes on, your bullpen's going to get a lot more stressed and it's going to make it a lot more difficult. You're going to need the Saturday and Sunday starters to be able to kind of extend and go 6-7 innings.
Well, if we get tonight, I'll feel really good because Gonzalez has just been pitching lights out. I mean, that's
why leaving him on Sunday is the perfect thing. I mean, you match him up with somebody Sunday right now, and you're almost kind of saying, hey, we're going to get one. And
it's funny, Caleb, because a lot of teams, they're going to throw their best guy on Friday, and we're throwing our best guy on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And I like that reverse psychology that Coach is using because if we can get a Friday or a Saturday, we're sitting there on Sunday pitching against probably their number 3 starter, our number 1 guy trots out there. Sheehan's another one. I wish, we really thought that Tommy Sheehan was going to be a weekend starter. It just hadn't worked out quite like that. He was coming off Tommy John. But the other thing with the standings that I wanted to talk to you about, which is just crazy, Andy and I had mentioned this. When's the last time we saw the 2 Mississippi teams at the bottom of the West?
Ole Miss, I think, has been a surprise. I think Mississippi State, for the most part, to me, kind of got unfairly overrated because they won the national championship. They lost a lot of good players off that team, and everybody's kind of looked at it like, well, they're just going to reload. Baseball's different. It's not a sport where it's easy to just throw some. Yeah, you're going to have some good players, but I mean, Ronald Acuna came up and struggled in Major League Baseball, and he's one of the best baseball players that there is right now. Yeah. Austin Riley came up and had struggles. I mean, you have to adjust. People adjust to you. You're going to come up, and Austin Riley was super hot when he came up for the Braves. Then people made adjustments on him. Next thing you know, he was hitting 230 something, and That's what happens with young players, and that's kind of what's happened with Mississippi State. They're just trying to find their footing, but they got a young team that next year and the year after, they're going to be probably right back there at the top. But I think they got kind of unfairly overrated at the beginning of the year when you look at all the good players that they lost off that national championship team.
And that was a great run for them and Lamonis. But, I saw them play midweek during the basketball season. When we went over to Starkville for the basketball game, they were playing Grambling, and they struggled against Grambling.
Yeah.
Tuesday. And I said, this is weird that Mississippi State's struggling against Grambling.
It's been interesting. They've been really successful in the SEC at home, though. You know? I mean, that's what's they've just haven't been able to win anything on the road.
Dude, listen, that stadium, and Andy and I talked about this, you talking about an arms race in baseball? They win.
Yeah.
Forget it. You finish second. That stadium, Caleb, you been in there?
No, I hadn't been in it. Dude, but, I mean, I've seen all the videos.
You remember when they used to pull the trucks up?
Yeah.
That's gone. They've got condos in left field. Mm-hmm. They've got sectioned off bleachers with areas for grills.
Yeah.
Right on the outfield wall, all the way foul pole to foul pole. And behind that, they put the students in those bleachers in right field.
And they fill it up for a Tuesday game against Grambling.
Yeah. When you're on a weekend series there, good luck to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's loud. Against Alabama this year, they set the record for attendance in a weekend against them. And, I mean, it was a crazy weekend. They beat Alabama on the Friday night in the ninth inning, and then they ended up beating them by one run again on Saturday. And the crowd played a big part in that. I mean, Alabama probably was the better team, but the crowd helped and just the momentum and, the atmosphere. And I think it was the same thing with Auburn going up there to Mississippi State. The crowd played a big part. Auburn was the better team. Yeah. Auburn's better than Mississippi State. Mississippi State won the series because they had you just feed off that emotion, and then as a weight player, it makes it pretty tough on you as well.
It's like the jungle.
Yeah. No, 100%. Same type of,
You better bring it.
Yeah. Better be prepared to play. Up against our first break here on the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed, and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. with the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau tri-tunes, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
New Chevrolet and GMC trucks plus sport utilities are rolling into Glenn Smith in Opelika. Stop in and see us or check out our inventory at glennsmith.com and see what's coming in. You can buy them before they get here. Plus, you'll get any incentives like big factory cash rebates or low APR financing. Silverados, Sierras, Equinox, Yukons, and more.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back in, Auburn Blitz. Caleb Brooks, David Jones here with you to finish out the week here and finish out this Friday episode and get you set for some big matchups around the SEC in both baseball and softball this weekend. And, David, we spent a lot of time talking about this baseball series and also going to spend, a lot of time talking about it with Jason Caldwell coming up. And, I think that me and Andy talked about it when I was on last week. I know y'all have talked about it. This weekend is the biggest series of the year for the Auburn Tigers, being at home, playing against Arkansas, the number one team in the West. I think the way that things go, even with some of the injuries, can tell you a lot about what this team's going to be capable of over the next month.
I agree. And it's a big series, Caleb, when the coach makes a video.
Yeah.
Did you see Coach Thompson's video? And he said the same thing Bruce Pearl said, and I'm sure this is a problem everywhere. He said, look, season ticket holders, if you can't come this weekend, figure out a way to sell your tickets or make sure somebody's in your seats because we need seats. Because I bet I've missed maybe 10 home baseball games this whole season. I've been at most of them. And it's amazing the number of those premium seats that are empty, even on the weekend.
How is the setup? See, like one of the things that people are mad about, like when it comes to Alabama with basketball and baseball and seatings is everything ties into football season tickets. Is that how it's set up with Auburn to where those people have to buy those seats in order to have, like certain type of membership with the Auburn athletic department to get football season tickets or something? Because that's how it's set up at Alabama. That's what people get frustrated with. You'll see in basketball those empty seats right by the court and the old people and stuff, and that's from them having to buy those tickets in order to be in Tide Pride for football to get like playoff tickets and stuff like that.
I don't think it's like that at Auburn. But and this is a true story. A friend of mine told me that there are people that have those premium seats in the jungle behind Auburn's bench or midcourt and will be watching the game on TV because they couldn't make it to the game. And if somebody's sitting in their seats, they will call the athletic department the next day and complain that someone was sitting in their seats.
Really?
And they're just sitting on the tickets. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
But back to my original statement, it's a big weekend when Butch is making a video and telling people, look, we got. And the other thing is this, Caleb, I think, am I correct, isn't Auburn out of school now? Graduation's this weekend.
I think graduation's this weekend, yeah.
And I think exams were this week.
Mm-hmm.
So there won't be that student representation maybe like they're
Not as much for sure. Yeah,
Not as much.
I'm sure that the parking lot won't have as many people in it and stuff, just because you're going to have so much other stuff going on.
Well, if graduation's going on, parking's going to be a nightmare anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's in the arena. And I usually park in the arena lot for baseball because the Coliseum lot right across from the field is
packed.
Drive around for 15 minutes and hope you find a spot.
Yeah.
So I usually go up in the arena lot. But back to your point, it is a big weekend for baseball and softball. Ty reiterated what we talked about. That Tennessee coach didn't want none of Tim Hudson and Gabe Gross. I was glad to see Kentucky beat them last night. Ty, I think you and everybody else that's not a Tennessee fan was glad to see that last night. Did I see where Auburn got a wide receiver coming from Miami?
Yeah, Dazzlin Worsham.
Yeah.
Transfer wide receiver. Alabama was big on him at one time, recruiting him out of high school, and I think he was committed to Alabama at one time and then ended up going to Miami. Look, right now, if you're Auburn, take any help that you can get at the wide receiver position. I'd be excited about anything right now coming in.
I wasn't crazy about his tweet, but anyway.
I didn't see the tweet. What was the tweet?
Well, he used a couple of profanities in his tweet.
Okay.
And then he threw God in there to end. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But what about? I'm asking you this because you're on the pulse of high school sports in the state of Alabama more so than anybody else because of your job and what you with the interviews and everything and being out in the state. I think we're going to get this running back from Catholic.
Yeah. Jeremiah Cobb, yeah.
What do you think?
He's pretty good.
Real deal?
No, he's a real deal.
Okay.
I watched him tear Davil up last year.
Yeah.
So we saw him in the state championship game against Fife the year before, when they got beat and blew that 16-0 lead. I got to see him also in the Champions Challenge. He was a sophomore that year. They have a really good quarterback at Catholic too, Caleb McCreary, left-handed kid. He's a freshman. Me and Luke are doing the Champions Challenge that they do down there at the Crampton Bowl to open up the year where they do 2 games. And Catholic and Pike Row were playing, and he's throwing in pregame. We were like, man, this quarterback for Catholic, looks pretty good. Left-handed kid. He was making
was
some
at that time?
Freshman.
Freshman.
Yeah, we looked down at the roster and saw that. We said, whoa. And he actually went out and played well. He ended up throwing 3 interceptions like you would expect a freshman to do in his first ever varsity game against Pike Road, who's pretty good, but played really well.
Past year?
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, so he'll be a junior.
That was the year that they made it to the state championship. Yeah, so McCreary will be a junior now. Cobb is a senior this upcoming year, and Cobb's a stud at running back and would be a really, really good pickup, I think, for Auburn.
Well, Niebuhr is predicting that Auburn's going to get him. And you're right. This year, with the state loaded like it is, we got to grab some of those for sure. So I hope that's a good pickup. We got a phone?
Looks like it.
Which line?
Hit 2. Well, no, it went off. Maybe not.
I don't think we have a call.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think getting Worsham's a good pickup, and then Jeremiah Cobb also would be a really big pickup for this class, too, from a running back standpoint. Because, look, let's be honest, Tank Bigsby's gone after this year. He's good enough to go pro, and he's going to get a second-round, third-round pick, which is what is good for a running back now. You're not going to see first-round running backs anymore, really, in the NFL. So I think he's got a chance to be the first, second guy taken from the running back position next year. And so, you got to replace him somehow. And I think Jeremiah Cobb would be a really good pickup in being able to do that from Catholic. And it just also kind of starts getting that foothold here in the state of Alabama again. All of a sudden you start landing some guys here from the state, some big time players like him, and you start kind of trying to get your hold of the state again from a recruiting standpoint. I think it would be big, when it comes to that.
Well, look, let's be honest. We're going up against 2 juggernauts right now in Alabama and Georgia, right in our backyard. So it's tough.
Yeah.
I don't care who the coach is, but yeah, we got to make some inroads in that for sure.
Hope it gets another break here on the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back with more right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back in. Auburn Blitz, Caleb Brooks, David Jones here with you. About 30 more minutes in today's show as we get set for a big weekend in Auburn athletics. And we got a phone call, so we will head to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking my call. I enjoy your show quite a bit, fellas. And lifelong Auburn fan here. I will be going to the baseball game on Sunday with my grandson and granddaughter and 2 or 3 other family members, but I'm looking forward to that for sure. And you all brought up recruiting, football recruiting in the last segment, and this is just my opinion. If I were an AD hiring anybody, particularly in this conference football, that would be the first question I would ask him is, how are you going to recruit? How are you going to bring in athletes to compete with the Alabama, Georgia, or whatever? Now, having said that, I know when when Auburn hired Gus back for the 2013 season, they interviewed Kirby Smart too. Now I want y'all to try to explain to me why we didn't even seriously consider that. I don't get that. Honestly, today I know that's hindsight and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't get it. But recruiting being vital, what it is, we all know that good coaches are going to make good players, and that's no secret there. So I don't know. That's just always been a mystery to me why we wouldn't go down that road. But appreciate you taking my call on Big War Eagle. Thank you.
War Eagle Jerry. And Jerry, look for me on Sunday. I'll be at the game on Sunday down in section 42, kind of between home plate and the Auburn dugout. So come down there and holler at me. I can answer the Kirby Smart question for you. Kirby Smart is the one that
he
kind of
ended up didn't.
Kirby Smart didn't want to take the job. So that's why we would have hired Kirby Smart.
I think on top of that, it worked out for Auburn in the long run because Kirby Smart 100% would have left Auburn and go to Georgia when that job opened. So it's like I was talking to someone yesterday, and we were talking about, the whole deal with how Brian Harsin got hired and stuff, and they said, maybe we could have gotten Cristobal, but when Miami opened up, he was going to be going to Miami. Yeah. So it would have been another situation where so I think in the long run, things kind of work out, and I think landing Gus worked out. You made a national championship. You had the 2017 season where you're pretty much an injury away from maybe being in the playoff that year. And, I don't think that Auburn would have done that if Kirby Smart would have gotten there because you would have been stuck in 2015 looking for another coach after that season. Yeah. So I think that worked out, and with what one of the Auburn people I was talking to yesterday said about Cristobal, I agreed with that. I think if you would have gotten Cristobal, he would have been gone, and you would have been stuck in another coaching search this year.
Yeah, and all of the hullabaloo about we need to go and get rid of Harsin. If we'd gotten rid of Harsin after this year, that'd been a crap show. Who in the world would come in right now? So, and I'm for riding this thing out. Give a man 3 years. I mean, let him. And people say, well, he may run the program into an area. No, I disagree. Let the guy go. I like the Auburn staff right now. There are reasons. I can't say everything that I know, and people get mad. Somebody said, if you know it, spill it. Well, no, I'm not going to spill it. But there are reasons why Derek Mason and Bobo are not on the staff anymore. And it's a good thing. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. But Etheridge coming in, Brumbelow, that's a great hire. I like the staff that he has right now, a good mix of his boys and guys and some Auburn men. Let's let it play out and see how it goes. I mean, what else are we going to do?
On top of that, I mean, when is Auburn their most dangerous? When everybody's telling them that they're not going to be any good. And I mean, after the 2012 season, nobody would have thought that 2013 happened. But you look at the makeup of the two teams, and they're kind of similar in a way. I mean, you've got running back coming back, a really good one. You had Trey Mason back then. You got Bigsby now. You got 5 offensive linemen coming back in 2013. You got 5 offensive linemen coming back this year. Yeah. So, I think you just got to kind of let things play out and see how it goes. And, you were really good on defense in 2013. You're going to be really, really good on defense here in 2022. So,
man, if Papo, I don't know, man. I hope he plays.
Yeah.
It's just that's been a weird thing that he's been hurt for so long. But now, if he's healthy and on the field, the defense is going to be really, really good.
No, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I think Auburn's got a chance to be really good on the defense side of the ball. And, if you can do that, all you got to do is just find a way to put up some points with maybe being a little bit better of a running team. Last year you could look at it and go, Auburn, Bigsby needs it 20, 25 times a game. Auburn couldn't run it 20, 25 times a game. The line couldn't hold up to run it 20, 25 times a game. Yeah. And so if you can get to that point, I think Bigsby's a guy that I said this, I think, to Andy the other day. He's like Derrick Henry. He's going to get better the more carries you get, the more the game goes on, the more other people have to tackle that dude. I mean, he gets better. So if you can get to that point where he's getting 25, maybe even up to 30, you're running the ball, you're controlling clock, and playing to your strength, which is being good on defense, I think you'll see Auburn win some games. And Harsin's setup, the way he wants to do things, is set up to be like that.
Let me ask you this then, as a guy from outside looking in. Finley, Calzada, Ashford, your pecking order.
I think that's the biggest concern and the question mark. I mean, it is.
We're going to get off there and you're going to say, what'd you ask me that?
Well, no, I mean, I would say going into it, I would go Calzada, Finley, Ashford, but I think Ashford has maybe the biggest upside.
Dude, in the spring game, he
Yeah,
looked good.
that's what I'm saying. I think he maybe has the biggest upside and the biggest chance to be a quarterback that fits what this Auburn team needs this next year. So
I met him outside the stadium after the spring game.
Robbie's a good kid.
He's well
yeah.
put together.
No, I
very
interviewed him when he
polite.
was at Hoover. He's
Yeah.
a really, really nice guy. And you know, look, I think I told Andy, or did I tell you yesterday where I was watching the Phoenix City and Hoover game, and he took him down the field and led him to a game. I mean, you know, he's got that in him.
He has wheels, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he's also got that clutchness to him too, to where when it became crunch time at Hoover, he made plays and helped them win games.
Yeah.
And he could provide that for Auburn next year. To me, I said this: if TJ Finley is a starting quarterback going into the year, then I'm really concerned as an Auburn fan because we've seen kind of what he is.
I think we've said that. We've seen everything we need to see out of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Coach Harson's waiting to see a healthy Calzada.
Mhm.
I think it's going to be between Calzada and Ashford. I really do. I just do.
And it'll be really
Thanks for
interesting to see
that
how it
input.
plays out.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to see.
No, you know, and I didn't watch a ton of the spring game, but I was actually down at the UFC fights in Jacksonville with a guy who's an Auburn fan. He was watching on his phone, and he kept looking. He's like, Ashford's looking pretty decent right now. It's like,
He did.
maybe he'll win it out. So you never know. Up against another break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers. Stay tuned for more here on the Auburn Blitz.
Lake Martin has a new car buying experience. It's the TR Group of Alex City on Cherokee Road. The TR Group has up to 100 late model vehicles to choose from and will not be beat on price, selection, or financing. With the TR Group, your selection and quality is easy and your good credit is rewarded. But we offer guaranteed financing on our inventory because your future is more important than your past. The TR Group, Lake Martin's new standard in auto sales. Located at 814 Cherokee Road, Alex City, USA.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Whether you prefer bricks, clicks, or taps, there's one place built around all your needs. For whatever it is you want to do. Even if your needs change, we'll be right there with you, making it all possible. Because you never know when a new addition will come along. So walk in, log on, or tap away. Either way, Valley's built to help you do you. Wherever life takes you, we'll be right there with you.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs. Or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce. Because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house, you need three things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually four. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, 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 Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back in. Friday edition here of the Auburn Blitz. Caleb Brooks, David Jones here with you. Now joined by Jason Caldwell from Inside the Auburn Tigers. And Jason, appreciate you coming on and joining us here on this beautiful Friday.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. No problem.
Big series for baseball coming up. We were talking about that this weekend. We'll get into that a little bit with you, but kind of want to start with Daslin Worsham coming in. Talk about his, transfer into Auburn and really what he can provide to this Auburn receiving corps here in the coming year.
Yeah, Dazalin's a guy that I've watched probably since he was a sophomore in high school and kind of seen him develop. And he's not a guy that's going to run a 4.3. He's not a burner guy, but he's a really good route runner, good hands. I think a guy that understands the game, and that's a big deal. And so I think that combined with having Javarius Johnson here, Sean Jackson, a couple of guys that he was teammates with at Hewitt Trussville. I think it's a big benefit to him to get him prepared and, learning the offense and all those things, getting ready for the season. So, you look, there's opportunity at wide receiver here for Auburn. You only have Billy Shedrick Jackson and Javarius back that caught more than 6 passes last year. So it's a really inexperienced group once again. And even though he hasn't had playing experience time at Miami, he's a guy that's now 2 years into college. So I think from a maturity standpoint, he understands the game. And so just a matter of kind of seeing how he progresses in a new offense and how quickly he can get adjusted.
Another big thing this week, college football coaches will propose transfer windows in the late fall and spring to help with roster management around the transfer portal. Todd Berry, executive director of the American Football Coaches Association, said Tuesday that his group would like 2 transfer windows for players to enter their names into the portal. One from the final Sunday in November until the early signing date in mid-December, and another from April 15th to May 1st. How do you think that, if that were to go through, how can that change things with recruiting in college football?
Yeah, it sounds good, but I think it's just a pie in the sky thing. Here's the thing. Now, I think you have to have a deadline, and I think the deadline is there. But there's never been a time when a kid couldn't transfer during a year. And now you think somebody's going to jump in and say, you can restrict when I can transfer now. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's too late for that. Now, I do think you got to have a time when you go, hey, look, this is it. You're done by May the 1st, and that's when you got to know. But I just don't. And here's the other thing. I don't know that would make a difference, to be quite honest. I don't know that impacts things whatsoever. They know you got the spring or you don't. And you either go get guys before spring practice or after the spring. I don't know that it would make a really big difference, to be quite honest. I think they've got to find a way to regulate it somehow, but I don't know that the window really makes much of a difference, in my opinion.
What about the possibility of eliminating the 25 scholarship, per recruiting session, and just saying, hey, teams can just figure out how to get to 85 scholarships on their own? And, I
think that's going to happen. I think it has to happen. You look right now, and Auburn is fighting, kind of the number game right now to get back to 85, and not too much longer you start to take off the next year to try to catch up from the transfers, do some of those things. Tennessee's dealt with it. Other schools are going to deal with it too. I think that's a way to help out some schools to get the number, because there may be a year where you get caught from a transfer side of things and are a little lacking and give you some depth. I think there's 2 things. I think the 25 number needs to be eliminated. Just worry about the 85. And I think the other thing that needs to be eliminated is 4 years of play. Just let guys play 5 years. They're on campus for 5 years. Eliminate the red shirt and give coaches actually a chance to play guys. If they've already played 4 games and you need them in week 11, go ahead and play them, but give them 5 years to play. And I think you do that, get more guys on the field, and maybe they understand then, hey, I can wait around and wait my turn a little bit longer if I'm getting some experience. And how many times you see it right now, a kid that doesn't play as a true freshman, they're gone in year 1. Maybe that helps eliminate some of those things.
That's an excellent idea, Jason. I love that. Great information. Hey, let's switch over to baseball. I'll be at all 3 games this weekend. Looking forward. So glad that the weather forecast changed, because we were kind of earlier in the week saying, dang, they might have to play 2 on Saturday. But we're going to get baseball in tonight. Fill us in on what you know. We know Mason Barnett will be on the bump tonight. And we also fill our listeners in on Burkhalter and what's going on with him, what we can expect this weekend.
Yeah, Mason Barnett's probably from a physical standpoint, from a tool standpoint, as good as anybody that Auburn has on the roster. And so I think, I think he's the guy that has a chance to go out. And, it's just a matter of him kind of seizing the opportunity. It's a big opportunity for him. And, this Arkansas team is capable of swinging a bat, but they're pitching defense oriented more so this year than they have been in the past. They still got a couple of guys that can hit the long ball, but I think you look at it, and this is going to be about eliminating mistakes, free bases, all those things, and that'll be a big deal for Mason Barnett tonight. But Blake Burkhalter threw some yesterday off the mound for the first time since last Friday. Everything went okay. Just a matter of today, seeing how much soreness there is for that hamstring, and and how he kind of recovers from throwing a few pitches. So I would suspect at some point this weekend we could see him a little bit. I don't think we'll see him a long outing or multiple outings. I think they're going to try to, maybe take advantage of him one time and then, make sure they don't, injure the hamstring any further.
Yeah, that's probably correct. I'm so proud of Joseph Gonzalez. I've felt all along if we can get a Friday or a Saturday, we've got a phenomenal chance of winning a series on Sunday, because he has just done phenomenal growth as a person, along with growth as a pitcher. He's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, he's been really good, and he's known how to pitch. His communication skills have gotten much better, which Bush Thompson said has made a big deal for him, and kind of working on, how you pitch guys, and doing those things. So, yeah, he's just quiet, calm, but knows how to pitch, and that's a big deal. And so he's the guy. You're right. If you can get to, give yourself a chance to win on Sunday, you feel pretty good with him on the mound.
Jason, how big is this weekend for both baseball and softball from a opportunity to host a regional standpoint going forward?
I think obviously softball is right there in front of you. This is your final opportunity in reality. I mean, you could go win the SEC tournament to help yourself out, but you went 2 out of 3 at Tennessee after beating Georgia last weekend, over 500 in the league. You would have 41 wins in the regular season. I don't think there's any way that Auburn would be a host side. I don't think you can get to a national seed. I think you'd be a host if you do that. For Auburn, it's just a matter of what you do the last 3 weekends. Obviously, this is a top 5 team in Arkansas. Win a series this weekend, win a couple more down the stretch, and then if you're Auburn, you put yourself in a pretty good position as well from the baseball standpoint.
Jason, really appreciate you taking the time to join us here today, and have a great weekend watching maybe the best baseball series in the whole entire country.
See you, Jason.
We'll be back with more here on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, their compact equipment provider.
Welcome back in. Final segment here of the week of the Auburn Blitz. Caleb Brooks, David Jones here with you to wrap it up. And, David, we've spent a majority of the show talking about baseball this weekend and, the series with Arkansas. Coming up after Arkansas, you have Alabama at home, and then you go to Kentucky, who we just kind of talked about is the bottom team in the SEC. I mean, they're 7-14. Now, we've seen they're capable of beating Tennessee. But you got to feel pretty good if you can go and win this series this weekend, getting Alabama at home the week after that, and then getting, the bottom team in the SEC to finish it out. We talked to Jason about what Auburn's chances are for hosting a regional and that type of stuff. I think if you can go win the series this weekend, you're in the driver's seat to be right there and maybe even have a chance to work your way up to possibly getting an 8 seed, especially with RPI.
Yeah, RPI at 4. That's insane. Well, somebody said if we got just one at Tennessee, it would just really bump us up, and it did. I mean, if we had been fortunate to win that Sunday game at Tennessee, holy crap, that you could have almost said that wrapped it up, well, unless they just went on a terrible slide. But 2 of 3 this weekend would be phenomenal. Alabama and Auburn, it's the Iron Bowl. Alabama's going to come in fired up, and they're not a bad baseball team. They're the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. But it's just tough There's not a single team in the SEC baseball with a losing record. It's incredible. But, yeah, it's all still there, but it could turn either way. I mean, you got to show up every day ready to play your best ball, softball as well. But now they're running out of time. There's this last series and then the SEC tournament. But
I kind of feel like with softball, they're at they almost, I think they have to 2 out of 3 this weekend and have to go get 1 in the SEC tournament to feel confident that you're going to host. So I think if you don't do that, if you go 1 and 3 and then go 1 and done, I think you're out. If you go 1 and 3 and go get 1 and then get beat after that, I think you're probably sitting there on selection day really tuned in and trying to get that 16 seed, hoping that you're getting that 16 seed.
Well, it'll be exciting for Auburn softball and baseball to both host regionals. Obviously, that would sell out very quickly.
Yeah.
And I would.
When's the last time Auburn baseball hosted a regional? 2010.
Andy's not here.
Yeah.
I ask those questions and he knows.
I want to say it's 2010.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I want to say it's the 2010 year where they had Clemson at home, and if Auburn would have beaten Clemson, it would have been Alabama and Auburn in the Super Regionals that year, and it would have been insane.
Yeah, I remember that series.
Yeah, because they played, to open up the SEC tournament. We went. My dad used to take the whole team up to Hoover for the first day of the SEC tournament. Back when there was 8 teams, you saw every team the opening day.
Yep.
And so we went. Alabama and Auburn was that 2-7 seed, 9 a.m. game, and I mean, people didn't get to the game till 4th inning because of how much traffic there was getting to it and everything. And, that was really crazy. It would have been really, really crazy if they would have matched up in the Super Regionals in Auburn that year, though.
That would have been nuts. Well, that's one of the great things about us. I lived on the Gulf Coast for 21 years. Being an Auburn fan, attending games from the Gulf Coast, I mean, I didn't have a plane sitting over at the airport in Gulf Shores that I could just hop on and fly into Auburn. My wife and I have had so much fun attending. We have season football tickets now. We've been to just about every baseball game, and we went to 7 or 8 basketball games. I mean, that's part of the joy of us living here. And if we could get a regional or a super regional in baseball and get in the gate for that, man, what fun. So, but it's all there in front of us.
Give me your biggest keys for this weekend for Auburn baseball. Where they're really going to have to do well to come away with this series win over Arkansas.
Great pitching tonight. This first of all, because Trace Bright's been there. He's doing pretty well. Gonzo's Gonzo. What happens tonight on the mound? Obviously, Coach Thompson and them feel like, Mason Barnett's the guy to get us the Friday win. And like you said, Arkansas's built more on pitching and defense. Throughout the lineup, Bobby Pierce, Rambush, DeShera, Brooks Carlson, all of those guys that have been getting clutch hits continue to get those clutch hits and get Plainsman Park in a frenzy. But
I think that's a big deal too this weekend is what you talked about. I mean, Butch Thompson coming out and saying, "Hey, season ticket holders, get your tickets to somebody that can be there." I think packing out the crowd, having a good atmosphere, and having the whole entire Auburn family there is going to be big in what this team can feed off of with the atmosphere standpoint. And this is the most important baseball series that Auburn's played in a really long time at home in the regular season.
Yeah. Well, you've been in the park there. I mean, it's not a gargantuan park. It's cozy.
Yeah.
I was talking to the film guy from South Carolina, and I said, "I know you've seen all the parks. What do you think about our park?" And he said, "Well, it's cozy. It's fan friendly." Well, let's fill it up with fans then.
Yeah.
Because that makes a huge difference. You mentioned it with Mississippi State. They're almost impossible to beat at home because of the environment, no matter what kind of team they have. So let's get out to Plainsman Park. You can still get terrace tickets, I know. And if you want to pay a little bit extra, you can get on, Vivid Seats or some of these others and get some. And they're still not outrageous. So,
what time's tonight's game?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock tonight. Is it on SEC Network or do you know if it's on SEC? Probably on SEC Plus, probably more than likely.
I don't think any of them are on this weekend. Friday and Saturday were on
That's
last
sad.
weekend.
How's ESPN and ESPN2 not taking college baseball at this time of year on Saturdays and Sundays?
Exactly. I don't understand that. But 4:30 tomorrow, and then 1 o'clock on Sunday.
1 o'clock on Sunday. So, look, like David said, get your butt to Plainsman Park if you're an Auburn fan and live around the area. obviously everybody knows I'm an Alabama fan, and I don't love Auburn or anything, but I love going to Auburn baseball games. I mean, I've done that my whole entire life. And
just a blast.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to be at college baseball games. See, I remember one of the best series that we ever went to was when Kendall Graveman was at Mississippi State, and it was the last year of BSR bats. He was a freshman that year, and there was a game where there was 11 home runs hit in the game, 16-14 final, and those days are long gone with the BSR bats, but it was just a lot of fun to watch SEC baseball and see the best baseball that you can find in the whole entire country, and Plainsville Park gives you a great atmosphere almost every single time too. So it's been a great week of Auburn Blitz here, and happy to have been here and done it with David over the last 2 days.
Enjoyed it.
Look forward to a great series this weekend between Auburn and Arkansas on the baseball diamond, and then the Auburn Tigers taking on Tennessee on the road in softball, with those games starting at 5 o'clock on SEC Network tonight, 10:30 a.m. on SEC Network tomorrow, and then 12:30 on SEC Network Plus to wrap it out on Sunday. So enjoy it. Have a good weekend. We will see you next week here on the Auburn Blitz.